This episode of Hat Trick Hockey is brought to you by Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald is a senior agent with Allstate Insurance and is proud to call Harrow, Ontario home. He has helped countless clients in the Windsor-Essex County area save money and get the protection they need. Mike's knowledge and drive to succeed gives his customers the best quality care and advice. He prides himself on excellent customer service. Specializing in home and auto insurance, Mike can customize your policy to suit your needs and be your trusted advisor to make sure you and your family are protected. Allstate has many features and benefits, including disappearing deductible, claim satisfaction guarantee, DriveWise, claim forgiveness, ticket forgiveness, and many more. Find out how much you can save. Call 226-773-8275. That's 226-773-8275. Are you in good hands?
Yo, this is four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty from Leamington, Ontario. You're listening to the Hat Trick Podcast with my boy, Tony the Tool from Harrow, and a bunch of his Leaf Slappy buddies. Anyways, great podcast. It's all about the hockey, but, you know, Leamington dominates. Anything you wouldn't know it's an Essex County thing. Anyways, listen to the Hat Trick Podcast. It's good stuff.
And welcome, everybody. It's episode number 29 of Hat Trick Hockey. It's the Ken Dryden edition of Hat Trick Hockey. Ant here. Little few things on Kenny, Mr. Dryden there. 8 years in the league, 397 games played, 2.24 goals against average, 0.922 save percentage. 6-time Stanley Cup champ. He's won a Conn Smythe, 5 Vezinas, went into the Hall of Fame in the 83-84 season. So that's quite the career. Also, this episode is also brought to you by our good friends over at GL Heritage, the official beer of Hat Trick Hockey. Robert Sawyer.
Crushing blondes.
What's going on, man?
Oh, you know, living the dream.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we get back to some fucking normalcy. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it seems like the freaking cases are like up and down lately. Like everything's all fucky right now, eh? Like I was like, 35 cases. Next day, like fucking 180. I'm like, holy shit. Like, why is such a fluctuation here? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, well, they did one today that said 35 cases, and then we're gonna add 170 to it.
So
like,
200.
what? How? Like, what, did somebody misplace the fucking numbers?
Must have. It's crazy, dude. Crazy times right now. So I see your Leafs there. Wave Jason Spezza. What do you think?
I understand how you go 10 for 10 in fucking face-off dot and you get waived the next day.
Well, yeah, I guess he is a big like face-off guy, eh? But would you have him there?
They have him out there for key face-offs. Like, I don't understand that at all.
Do you think maybe it was maybe he's not putting up as much as they would like him to? Like, I understand he's kind of older in the league and he has a limited role, but
well, maybe they want to bring up that Roberts kid, you know, but
yeah,
it's, you know, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think the guy's a fucking stud. He dropped the mitts last year in the playoffs. That made me so excited. I couldn't believe that your oldest guy on the team is doing all your dirty work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's not a a bad person in when he's out on the ice. You know what I mean? Like, he's not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of threw me off too. I didn't know what the hell was going on there. I don't know. Maybe they have plans to do something else. Like, I don't know, man.
But he cleared waivers too, right?
He did, yes.
But they put Dell on waivers too as well, the goalie,
mm-hmm.
and he got picked up.
Yeah, I think someone will grab him. Like I said, he comes cheap, right? So I can see.
Doesn't he stay with the Leafs?
I'm not sure. How that. I think he can sign elsewhere. Can he?
I'm not sure. Are you cut now?
I think so. Yeah. I think essentially that's how it goes. If you're waived, it's bye. So I think someone else will get him. I'm sure they will. Speaking of those Leafs, Jumbo Joe got his first goal. It was a nice shot too. What a fucking play by Mitch Marner. Did you see that?
That kid is a stud.
like lays down on the ice almost, stops it with the shaft of his stick, sucks everybody down low to him, drops it back, and who's there? Jumbo.
Bingo.
Right there, and he made a beautiful shot, beat the goalie clean. So congrats, Joe and Mitch. What a fucking play. Rob, what do you think on that one?
Love both the guys. Like everybody's talking all this shit about Jumbo not being able to keep up with Matthews and Marner. Like, this guy's such a smart hockey player, and he's getting what these guys are throwing down. Like that stick lay on the ground to collect that pass was insane.
And what a pass!
What a pass!
Like, banked off the boards, like,
yeah,
right to him, like an absolute just fucking dart of a pass. Like, one little kiss off the boards and it was right there.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, it was like, when I seen that goal, I was like, wow. And then they showed it, and then it was, like Marner like laying down on the ice, and I'm like, holy shit. Just, man, that's why those guys get paid the big bucks. And actually, speaking of that, speaking of all those big guys, all the snipers in the league are scoring right now. Like Crosby, Ovi, fucking Matthews, McDavid, they're all scoring right now. All the big dogs are scoring. This is kind of like, normally one of them's kind of off a little bit, but what do you think of this, Rob? All the big dogs going in.
Fucking let's go, man. This is fucking hockey.
Yeah.
You know what? You can't take days off.
No.
Like, this is basically a 56 game playoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a race. Everybody's ripping. You don't have time to go into a slump.
No.
So the money that you're making, you better make it.
Yeah. It's a race for the playoffs. That's all it is, right? And then when you get in, what's good too is speaking of the fucking Stanley Cup playoffs, there's gonna automatically be a team from Canada in the semifinals.
It's huge.
Automatic. I like this layout. Maybe when everything opens up, maybe they can still go across and play one another, but have it always line up like this.
They're gonna have to go into a hub again, though, right? For this.
Oh, like go into a bubble?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that they can
and it'll be in Canada too. Like, so they're gonna have, I would think that it's gonna be in Canada, but that being said, if you think about it too, it's only one team that's got to cross to the US, right? Yeah. And I don't know if they have the 14-day quarantine either.
I'm sure. I think if you cross any fucking thing, you have to. Like, if you cross any border, I'm pretty sure you have to quarantine for 14 days. Like, if we went down to like Florida, let's say, we would have to quarantine.
Quarantine at the beach for 14 fucking days?
No, we would have to sit in our condo or something for 14 days.
Bring it on.
And just get ripped before we would be able to.
I'm in a fucking hut anyway, so it doesn't matter. Be right on the beach.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I could see us or these guys maybe going over to the States, but where are they going to be at with cases in the States too? Like, I'm sure that will be monitored too, right? So, but Canada right now is kind of no better, but we'll see. Well, we're better, but I just mean, like, we're starting to ramp up. Like, that's like this fucking area as of late's kind of one of the hot spots, right? So
yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see. Either way, they're doing it, man. Like, if they're running the year, they're obviously going to run the playoffs, right? So did you see everything with Keith Yandel
about his Ironman streak?
Yeah, Florida was going to scratch him.
That's such fucking shit.
Yeah, he has it. It's like 856 games or something like that, or it's 8 something. It's 800 and something games solid, and they were going to scratch him.
But if you're a healthy scratch, that shouldn't go against you.
But it's just consecutive games in the lineup. That's the streak, right?
I thought it was like injuries or whatever. You know what I mean? Like where that played, and this guy's fucking never hurt.
I know, and he's so good.
I don't understand it. And you're going to be a healthy scratch in fucking Florida?
Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Come on.
Coach Q, what's going on?
We're gonna have to talk to that guy.
Like, what's going on here? But they're saying that he might end up getting dealt and this and that. So what do? They put him in the lineup. Guy scores, scores a goal. Like,
You think maybe it was a ploy or a push? Like, maybe he wasn't, because I heard that he wasn't practicing. Like they weren't even having him practice.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wonder if it was just a push. Like maybe he didn't have no jump, and they said, well, fuck, man, like we're gonna healthy scratch you, and he's like, well,
fuck.
I'll go play for Phoenix.
Yeah. Back to Arizona.
I'll make that roster.
He'll be back hanging out with Biz again. Him and Biz will be chilling. Yeah. The Desert Dogs. So Saturday night too. So McDavid and Uncle Leo, okay, these guys combined for 8 points. So Connor had the hat trick and an assist, and Draisaitl had 4 assists. Have a night, boys. Like, you know what I mean? Isn't that insane? 2 players so dominant playing on the same line.
But not every night, though, right?
I think they're playing together a lot.
Are they? Yeah, but I'm talking about their record. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You could pile everything on one fucking line,
Mm-hmm.
and that don't mean shit.
Do you know who their other winger is?
Who?
Zach Cassian.
Oh yeah, he just had a baby. Congratulations to him
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
He missed. I want to say, was it their opener?
Might have been. It might have been that game there, that 8-point game, maybe. Well, if he did, yeah, I didn't see that. Congrats, Zach. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's second baby.
Awesome.
So he went home back here to Windsor, and yeah.
So
he missed. I don't know if it was that game exactly, but yeah, that's congratulations to him and his family.
That's awesome. What do you have, a boy or a girl? Do you know?
50-50 shot here.
Okay, well, don't
girl,
guess,
girl.
but that's awesome. No, congrats, Zach. So Dylan Larkin and Zach Werenski are good friends. So the Wings played Columbus. I think it was last night, or yesterday afternoon. So there was like a minute left to go in the game or whatever. Well, there was a big scrum around the net. Well, Werenski and Larkin ended up dropping the gloves. So they fought. Okay. So they're good friends. And I think Bobby Ryan was also, there was 2 fights going at once. So Bobby Ryan was over there. I don't know whoever he was paired up with. But the funny part of it was Larkin left 2 seats for Zach's mom and dad at the game. So he left the other guy's seats, and then they fought him. So, but at the end of the fight, they were like laughing and stuff. But at the end of the fight, I just thought it was pretty funny. But that just shows you that's hockey, baby.
That's hockey.
Like,
what was that thing you sent me about an angel says something, or and then God says, "Oh yeah, watch this."
Watch this. I'll drop. Yeah.
How did that go?
It was I think Drew fucking sent that to me. It was something about like, let me see.
Canadians are so nice.
Yeah, it was something about Canadians being so nice, and then God says, "Here, wait, watch this. I'll drop a puck," and then it gets dirty. But it's true though. It's true. We're all nice guys until you drop a puck, and then it's fucking on.
Game on.
Yeah, game on. Also, Boston hasn't even scored an even strength goal yet. Rob, I thought that would make you happy being a fuck Boston type guy.
Well, it's because the Leafs aren't in their fucking program.
Because they're not in their fucking division.
You don't get any fucking 7-goal comebacks.
That's fucking funny, man. Yeah, so they have not. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. They got so much firepower too.
But bro, I gotta tell you, I'm loving this Canadian division.
Me too.
I'm telling you, if you took 12 fucking teams and made its own league out of this, it would blow the NHL away. I honestly think that. and you brought the rules back. Take that fucking instigator out of there. You know what I mean? Like,
Make
and
it
you made hockey again. This shit is awesome. But what was great too was the Red Wings having two fights at the same time. When was the last time you saw that?
Oh gosh, it's been a long time.
Right. Like years that I've seen two fights in any game at the same time.
Yeah, going at the same time.
Yeah. Like that's old school. That's old time hockey.
You want to know what I like, Rob? Is the Wings have like they've only played 3 games. They're playing number 4 later on here.
Yep.
And they've only played 3 or 4 games, and they have like 3 or 4 fighting majors.
It's awesome.
So, but it's nice to see because the Wings are kind of a younger squad now, right? Like they're in a rebuild. So they're a little bit of a younger team, but they're fucking scrapping, man. And they're all standing up for each other and stuff. It's nice to see. Put it that way.
I still think they should have picked up our boy Matt Pumple.
Me too.
But speaking of Pumple, he got signed, right?
Yes. He did get signed. He was Malmo. It was in the Swedish Elite League. So I made sure I sent him a huge congrats from the boys here at the show. And I told him when he gets like settled in, we'll get him on for an update episode and we'll see how everything's going with him soon. So best of luck, Matt.
Yeah, best of luck, Matt.
He's a beaut.
Total
fucking
beaut.
Yeah, he's awesome. Real quick before we flip over to our interview, Boston, I just read a thing tonight. Fucking the Sabres are trying to put another piece into their wagon, Rob, and they're trying to sign goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury. Apparently they're trying to work out a deal, but in order for it to work, how it would have to go was Las Vegas would have to retain a lot of his like salary, and Buffalo would have to send multiple picks and possibly a guy or two like NHL ready the other way. So what do you think would happen if Marc-Andre Fleury was in Buffalo? Did you see what they just did?
I think they're building something special there. Like that's insane, man. Like they're building a fucking wagon.
Like
I'm quite impressed with Buffalo right now.
Me too.
With what they done and all it had was what Eichel to say, fuck this, I don't want to be here. If you guys aren't going to do anything for me, why should I?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, here's Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, you want Andre Fleury?
Oh,
we'll go see what he's doing.
And they got Mark Stahl too, right? No, not Mark Stahl, Jordan Stahl.
Right.
Mark's with the Red Wings. But yeah, they got Stahl there too. So like that's fucking some leadership, man. Was it them who just pumped Philly? I'm pretty sure it was them. They just beat Philly like 6-1, didn't they?
I'm not sure, but I saw Taylor Hall's first goal as a Buffalo Sabre. That was pretty sweet. Just a nice little tap in, go to the net with the stick down on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beaut.
McDavid, I was watching one of his games the other night. He scored a goal. When he skated, it's almost like a cheat code. Like that guy, when he takes one solid stride, he's 3 strides ahead of everybody. Like he's amazing to watch. And also, so it was last night, the Sabres laid a beating on Philly. They beat him 6-1 just last night. So look out, because Buffalo is fucking. We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, they did sign a lot of guys. So
who did Detroit beat?
Detroit beat, I think it was Carolina. Yes, they beat Carolina 4-2 on Saturday.
Carolina should have had Toronto Maple Leaf fucking Zamboni driver in net.
Well, apparently Carolina's having a little bit of issue with the COVID right now too.
Yeah, I just saw some canceling a game tonight.
Yeah, tonight they were due to play in Nashville. So they
Oh,
were
that's what it was. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So they were due to play in Nashville, and the game was canceled due to the Carolina Hurricanes having some issues with COVID. So hopefully everything's okay there, and they can get back on schedule soon. So that being said, Rob, this interview.
Oh fuck.
Like, what a fucking beaut, this guy. Like,
Bro, I was glory. Carlos is an amazing fucking total beaut.
yeah.
Oh, that yeah, like it's Carlos Gomez.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't know.
Yeah, he so now that Rob's done fucking around, we had we had Scotty Gomez on with us. So this guy came on, shot to shot.
Scotty too, honey.
Yeah, he was awesome. So this
got to meet his mom.
Yeah, his mom too came through on the background. It was quite funny. You guys will see in the video edition of the show. You guys will see that. It was
Make
funny.
sure you guys check out our YouTube page. You see these guys in their glory interviewing. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it is. And he's a fucking gem. What a total beaut.
Yeah. So this one's gonna be a two-parter because Scotty was with us for like almost an hour and a half. So
and dealing with our bullshit.
Yeah, we had some internet freaking issues. Actually, both ends. It was kind of weird for a little bit. Even even he was saying there himself, he's like, that was weird. I'm like, I know. But we got it all figured out and we finished off the interview. So we're gonna send part 1 of Scotty Gomez. So here he is, guys. Seriously, enjoy. It's awesome.
Roll it.
And this next cat on here with us was a 1998 draft pick where he was drafted 27th overall by New Jersey. This man played over 1,000 games in the NHL, racked up 756 points over 16 NHL season. He was an NHL All-Star, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, everybody's favorite uncle, Scotty Gomez. Scotty, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
How's everything going with all this COVID shit and everything?
I think it's just like everyone. We're all, it's a different world. I mean, something new comes up every day. I think we're all just trying to find out what happens and hopefully we all get through this and, a little normalcy. But I mean, who can complain when no one knows really what the fuck's going on? So it's kind of that.
Are you in Alaska now?
No, I'm in San Diego. I'm at my parents' place. They come in for the winters, so might as well, Alaska's kind of can't golf too much right now, as you guys know. So, I've just been out here and I was out in Alaska for a while and then in here and it's been good. Sorry about that if you hear the birds.
I was just going to say, you got some birds there or something?
Yeah, my parents fucking got some birds here. So this is like the only spot. This is like the only spot in the house that the internet works too. So I'm like, these things haven't said a fucking thing for I don't know how long, and now they're chirping. But oh.
All right, let's get right into her. So you grew up in Alaska, right?
Yeah, born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska.
So that's where you obviously started to play hockey, right?
Yeah, hockey. Hockey's. We had the college. There's 2 colleges in the state: University of Alaska in Fairbanks and then University of Alaska Anchorage. And believe it or not, we had some really good hockey players. Great program for us kids growing up. So we hockey and basketball were really, really big. Obviously you can play all winter long, but yeah. So because of the college hockey, that's how kind of got really into it.
Mm-hmm.
Is Anchorage like one big hockey rink?
No. It's Anchorage is pretty big and it's really diverse. I think people have the question's always how does a Mexican Alaskan play in the NHL or but Alaska's really diverse from all the history of World War II. There was earthquakes. There was the pipeline being built. So a lot of minority groups went in there and worked. So yeah, I mean it's really diverse. Anchorage is probably I'd probably give a shit for this, but it's probably like 450,000, maybe 500 people in Anchorage, and there's probably like 600 in the state. My numbers are off, but you get the idea how big Anchorage is. It's kind of the New York City of Alaska.
How did were your parents born there, or did they move there, or
No, yeah. My mom was born in Colombia, and she was raised in New York until she was like 8, and then same thing. She was raised by her aunt and uncle, and he was a painter, and he went up to Alaska during the pipeline in the 70s. And my dad's there's 10 of them, and 2 of them were born in the States, right around this area I'm at right now, Pacific Beach, San Diego, and the rest were born in Mexico. And so my dad's American citizen, but uh, he's got 10 first cousins, and kind of the other thing. Kind of like the other thing, the other ones went up there to Alaska because there was so much work, and that's kind of what happened.
so you're quite diverse yourself, Colombian, Mexican, Alaska?
Yeah, I mean, everyone always just thinks of the Mexican because of Gomez, but yeah, I got Colombian blood in me, half and half.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, get a little more Mexican all day, and then when the alcohol flows more of the Colombian style, I get the more the dancing and stuff like that. So, but mostly Mexican during the day, to quiet and don't like to deal with people.
That's hilarious. So how old were you when you started to play hockey? Like super young, or?
Yeah, I was 4 years old. My dad took me to a Seawolf game for the college team, and I went there, and yeah, it just I really wanted to try it. Back then, the Boys and Girls Club could offer you equipment. You just had to have your own skates and helmet and stuff. So we went on a Saturday, picked up some gear, and yeah, basically they have like learn to skate programs, and that's kind of how I got started.
Awesome.
Who were your kind of coaches there? Like anybody? Like who do you remember? Like doing that.
Well,
skate.
Well, growing up, I mean, all our coaches were basically they were old college guys, guys that stayed in the community after they were done playing. So our minor league like hockey coaches and stuff, we actually got a really good. I mean, we had really good hockey coaches. It wasn't like some some dad that just is put skates on and doing the wife a favor. No, we actually had guys that knew what the hell they were doing. So as far as that regards, us growing up as kids in my age group and the older generation, yeah, there was a lot of hockey, a lot of hockey minds that are, at least we thought they were good as kids. I mean, probably we were shit now, but hold on, let me close this real fast.
That's funny, man.
He's putting the birds
shut the fuck up. No, I'm not putting them outside. Trying to usually you go with them.
Those birds
I can't do that.
Fucking nuts, aren't they?
Not nuts. I just feel bad for you guys. I live here with
It's
them.
all good, dude.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's all good.
We got Scotty Gomez on here. What a fucking view.
It's all good, man. So how old were you when you got your first like look from any sort of like junior team or like anything like that?
Well, what happened was that growing up, you get older, start playing more, and we actually the talent was really great. I mean, the competition level was unbelievable. As we got to Pee-wees, the winner of the state tournament would go out and play in nationals, and like the competition in state was just unreal. But the winner that went to nationals, I mean, they'd get their ass kicked by teams from the low 48 just because the talent pool was that much better. So when I was my second year in Pee-wee, what they did was they put the best kids together, and another group of kids are older than us, or maybe 2 years. They did that group where we could compete nationally after that. So like our first trip, they put the team together. We it sucks because when we play the other 2 Alaskan organizations, I mean, we're killing them. Yeah. But when we go outside, now we can compete. I mean, one of our first trips was we went to the Kingsman tournament in Oshawa. Mm-hmm. I think Gretzky had like 39 points in like 5 games or something crazy. Like he holds the all-time. Yeah, it's something. I mean, because we remember seeing it. But it's the first time we played. So like growing up, we had no idea what the Toronto Red Wings, the Marlies. We knew kind of about Little Caesars, GPD, CompuWare. It was kind of teams like that, where it was our initiation to the big boys. Like we go play in this tournament, we play the Marlies, and they had I think Daniel Tkachuk was like rated or was supposed to be the next Lindros because he was like probably about 5'8" when the rest of us were how tall, or I can't remember, but it kind of was the first glimpse of us. We're like, are you kidding me? There's scouts at the game. Like there's actual scouts and all this at games, and their agents, and we just didn't know what the hell was going on. I think with the Marlies, it was 2-1 after one. So we thought, wow, we can hang right there. And I think they beat us like 11-2. And for us cocky kids that we'd never been on the other side of that. And the whole time too, it wasn't like they just beat us. I mean, they talked shit even after the 9th goal, they were just talking shit. It was like, Jesus, give up. Like, so, but it was kind of like our coach afterwards was kind of like, it was our initiation to like, hey, this is the big time. And we're only like 11, 12 years old. Yeah. But by the end of that year, or by the end of that, probably the tournament, I mean, we play that team again. We're right in there. Cause like I said, we started playing Little Caesars and Computer and teams like that they all were used to playing against each other. This was all new to us. Mm-hmm. So I think that was kind of the first time we're like at the national tournaments and the tournaments we were there, maybe scouts and stuff were starting to realize that like, wow, there's some group of kids in Alaska that can play. Mm-hmm. So I think that maybe that's like the first time we kind of got some recognition, and as you got older, it just kind of went more.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So were you the first person like drafted out of Alaska?
No, there's been other guys drafted. I think I get credit for being probably the first born and raised to play in the NHL. But no, hockey was our older group. I mean, the guys that were older than us, I think 2 or 3 years, like Brian Swanson, he played in the league a little bit after me, but those group of guys, they were great. And we had some fantastic college teams in the early 90s, like 90, 91. I mean, those teams are making it to the quarterfinal or the semifinals of the national tournament. And so we didn't like, the NHL was the furthest thing from us. Mm-hmm. That was the furthest thing on our mind. We had no idea, like, that's unheard of to make the NHL. Us growing up was just college. If you can get a college scholarship, that was the NHL. I mean, and reluctant I didn't go to college, but yeah, that was our thing. And one of the first guys to make it was he was a rock star. He's not from there, but Mike Peluso played college.
Okay. Oh yeah,
in Alaska. So Peluso, let me try to get away from this fucking. Peluso played, and I don't know if this will help, but Peluso was kind of the first guy that was rock star status. Okay. That but he was obviously a different route. But yeah, we definitely had great hockey growing up as kids. But as far as, like I said, as far as the NHL, that was the first thing from anyone's mind.
So from Alaska, what would have been the closest arena to you? Like to go to an NHL game?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, unless you had mommy and daddy had money, you go do it. But I do remember we were kids. When I was a mite, I made a comp team. I actually got cut from a team, so it was on the other comp team, and we played down in Richmond, BC, and we ended up going to. We actually played in between periods at the old Vancouver Coliseum.
Oh yeah,
against the North Stars. So yeah, but yeah, we knew nothing about the NHL. When we go to, Vancouver obviously is the closest, but when we go to a tournament in Silver Sticks in Michigan, Port Huron, a couple of times when we went to those, we go early, and hopefully the Red Wings will be playing at the Joe. So caught a couple games when I was a kid. But yeah, as far as NHL, man, it just depends what city you went to for a hockey trip.
Right.
So actually, speaking of your NHL draft, now your NHL draft was in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
So you were drafted 27th. Now, there was a kind of a funny story about your draft, right? About your friends were back at home watching. Can you kind of fill us in on that?
Well, yeah, it was like growing up as a kid and watching, ESPN would always have the draft, and it literally was all you cared about was getting on TV, walking up to the stage, putting the arms around whoever drafted you. I mean, that's just as a kid. That was the ultimate goal. That's all you watched on a Saturday morning when the draft was on. So my year of the draft, they had leave it up to the NHL. They had some genius route that they were going to, each team got a timeout before if they want. So you're on the clock, and then you could take like a 10-minute timeout. Mm-hmm. So instead of the first round lasting however long, like an hour or whatever, maybe a little longer it's supposed to, I think our first round was like 3 hours long. And so anyway, back then, no phones or anything. I go down to the last pick of the first round, finally get chosen, get up on the stage. Here it is. You're in disbelief. It's kind of cool. You're there. But I do remember you get a little break before you do all the photo ops and everything. And there was a payphone on, my friends were all watching. And I just called back home and I was like, here it is. And they're all like, where did you go? And I'm like, what the fuck you mean, where'd I go? Then you guys see me on TV and they're like, no, after the 26th pick, ESPN cut it off for buck hunting. So like the only goal I ever had was to get on TV for the draft. That's all. I didn't even care where I went. I didn't care. I just wanted to get up on stage and do the whole thing that we've been watching since we were kids. But yeah, Buckmasters, whatever, took over. So that timeout during the draft always pissed me off.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, just to go back just a little bit before you got drafted to the NHL, you had the opportunity to go play college or junior.
Yeah. Well, I was like major junior was never even in consideration. Didn't know anything about it. Actually, yeah. I think in like '89 because the World Juniors was in Alaska, and that was when like Bure, Fedorov, Mogilny, Yager, Holik, like if you look at the U.S. had Roenick, Madonna, like it was unreal. So when they were trying to promote the tournament, they had like 4 teams from the WHL come up to Anchorage. I think it was like Portland, Seattle, maybe I forget which teams it were. It was definitely Portland, Seattle. But they had games at the Sullivan where we all watched a college team, and no one really got the concept. Just kind of like, wow, these guys are not wearing a full shield. There's fights, and so they were trying to build up the World Juniors. Later on, my introduction to the World Juniors, kind of creepy, I guess you want to say, was Calgary Hitmen were going to be an expansion team, and I got drafted by Spokane. The draft was coming up. There was another great player that I grew up with, Ty Jones. He was 13th overall to the Blackhawks the year before, so he was my line mate, 6'4", unreal hockey player. Graham James came up to Alaska, if you know that creepy name. So Graham James came up to Alaska, and he wanted to make Ty the first pick overall in the WHL for the expansion Calgary Hitman, tell everyone I was going to college, and then make me the second round pick. So that Christmas, we'd always go to the Max tournament. If your team was better, you go to the Max tournament. It's a big tournament in Calgary, and Graham James is taking me all around. I got to meet a couple of people, but he's taking me all around. And then at the All-Star game, I'm in the All-Star game, and a couple of the Calgary guys are like, "Hey, that guy's that guy's a pedophile, or whatever." And I'm like, what's that? Like, I didn't fucking Calgary or whatever. Like what the fuck? Who's that? Wait, a what? And then I call home and I'm like, hey, this guy's supposedly this whatever. And then we had no idea what. And then the next year when our juniors, that shit all went down. So actually, my introduction to major juniors from that creep. But thank God, okay. That wasn't gonna happen. But I got older and I was dead set on college. I went to the BC. I was going to go to Colorado College because Brian Swanson, a couple other guys, Don Lucia was the coach, and they were a powerhouse there. Set on there, and my billets, being in Canada, because I didn't go to the United States Junior Hockey League. I ended up in the BC League and it was different with the draft and the age. So they my coaches and my billets kind of sabotaged the college thing. They kind of got my parents on board where, when my parents came to visit, they would take them to major junior games, and they'd be like, see that guy right there? That kid's going to make $1 million next year. And Scott's like, that's how it got going. We didn't know anything about it because Spokane had my rights, and they had the Memorial Cup that year. And I signed a letter of intent to go to college. They dropped my rights, and my best friend Ty Jones was there. They dropped it, and then that was my mom. She's super hungover. She's super hungover right now. And then she's hurting. So that's how basically went to Tri-Cities we won I think like 17 games that year out of like 70 games. I mean, it was just I was rated in the top 5 in the draft. That's basically why I also went to major junior. and I got hurt like my fourth game in, and I didn't play, and so I fell down in the draft. But I knew nothing about the major junior or anything about it. And next thing you know, I'm I didn't know if I made the right decision. Let's put it that way, but it all worked out at the end.
Hell yeah, it did. So where were you? Like everybody, it always sticks in your brain. Where were you when you got your first call up? Or did you go right out of camp?
Motherfucker, I was right in the room when they called it. I didn't know. I didn't go. I was more mad. I was more mad. Glad you did your homework. I was more mad. I was more mad. I thought I should have made it my 18-year-old year. I was more pissed off about that. I mean, I got kept till the end. Back then, if they sign you, you got to stay. You have to play. They have to keep you for 10 games. If they keep you, you're there for all year. So I was pissed that I got sent back my 18-year-old because I just came out of the blue. But it was, for me, it was, I mean, you're playing with the best of the best. It was almost, it's like the game was almost easier. You're playing because the way I dished the puck. But I got sent back, and then that summer I had to go live in Jersey for like 9 weeks before. Me and like a bunch of guys, and we had to work out with Vladimir Bure, and that kind of was like the indication of you can go through that. I had the same kind of camp, and yeah, there it was. I wasn't going anywhere.
So when you got sent down and you were up at the time, what was it like going back and playing down?
Oh man, it was tough. It was you couldn't even believe. It also opens your eyes on like how, I mean, we're talking, you're playing with grown men that are just can do anything with the puck, the physicality, everything. And now you're going, you're
Is Mom making you some cereal?
No, she's making her some soup. Yeah, Jesus, Mom. Fuck, why don't you throw the pucks against the wall? Like, she's hurting.
Because everything going on around you, your eyes are everywhere. So that's why I'm
no,
all good.
No, she's good. She's making herself some soup.
Scotty, do you want a bowl too?
No, we had a late one last night. That's why. Do you want to say hi, Mom, to the camera? So they, I don't know. So I get sent back down, and it's great to see the boys. I mean, because when you're up, people don't realize it's not like you're hanging out with anyone right away. I mean, especially when all the guys are getting cut, you're basically the only one at the hotel. You're going to the rink. I don't know how you're getting to the games. I mean, someone's probably picking you up, but we grew up playing and hanging out with the guys all the time. So when you're finally up there, you're with grown men. I mean, it's not what people think in the beginning. So when I got sent down, I was happy. I was pumped. I had some cash in my pocket because I think if you play in those exhibition games back then, you get like $400 cash or whatever. I ended up playing like 5 or 6 of them. I can't remember. I was 18, but I got back, and then I'm thinking I'm just going to dominate right away. But you're playing with kids again, where the level's not really up to par, and you're getting frustrated, and you're kind of being a dick on certain things because and I'll give the Devils credit. I was struggling, and Don Hay was my coach, and he told the Devils like maybe my attitude wasn't really. I just was still mad that I didn't stay with the team, and Lou Lamoriello and another scout, they flew down to see me and kind of put my ass back in shape of like, hey, you're not ready yet, or you might think you are, but we got to see how you're going to react. Like, we got to see if you're going to make guys better. So let's go. And I don't know if many organizations would do that. I never, heard of that, but they took the time to fly down and kind of got me back ready to go. And it was great after that.
Mm-hmm. What was Lou like a mafia boss? Like when he would talk, like we'd be like scared.
Well, you don't know anything yet. You don't know the myth about Lou Lamoriello. You have no idea until your agents and stuff warn you. Until the next because at 18, no one really expected anything from me. But holy shit, now that I'm like, I'm in the mix. Now you kind of learn, you get to see the vibe of it. And the next year, I mean, you're warned even before you go into camp. I mean, your agents are like, you got to have short hair. You got to have a collared shirt. You're hearing all this and you're like, really? And it's like, they're not joking around. I mean, you got to be, it's a different world, brother. And once you get there, you realize that, he is, he's fucking scary, man. There's no doubt about it. Everything about it. But I'll give you the World Juniors that year, the year before I got drafted. The World Junior, I make the team, and the camps before we go out to Finland, we're in Jersey, and we're in Hoboken, New Jersey, and we're gonna get introduced during the period. The Rangers and the Devils are playing, and Gretzky's playing for the Rangers. So, can't wait to go to the game. The team gets separated. We're downstairs. I think it's like 5 of us, and me and Ty Jones, another Alaskan. So we're both goofballs. But the team leader goes, "Hey, Lou would like to invite you guys into the room to show you his Stanley Cup ring." So we're like, "Sure, no problem." So there's like 5 of us to go in the room, and it's the Lou Lamorielle's office. Have no clue about him. Don't know anything about this guy. About his reputation or anything. Well, on the board, and most NHL rinks, but now it's all computerized and stuff. But on the board behind the scenes is all like, every team, every player, which players are getting ready to come up, it's a whole wall. Well, on the end of the wall, there was a sign basically like guys that are ready, like kind of next in line. Like I think Brendan Morrison's name was there. There's a couple other guys, and me and Ty Jones, were joking around, and fucking Jonesy goes, "I dare you to put your name on there." And I was like, "All right." So dude, granted, I don't know anything about Lou Lamoriello. So anyway, I walk over and there's a Sharpie and no one's watching. I put Gomez right there. And so Lou goes at the end, he's like, does anyone have any questions? Everyone's looking at the ring. And he goes, "Does anyone have any questions or anything?" And I raised my hand. I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What?" And I go, "Why the fuck is my name so low there? I'm better than all those guys." And the team leader, like the whole people in the Devil's office just was like could have died that I touched Lou Lamoriello's board. Like, it's one thing. Granted, I had no fucking clue who this guy was or anything. The fucking team leader guy of ours is just like, dude, if this guy's not gonna have a heart attack, he's like, they're all apologizing, and Lou's just like, and Lou's kind of just laughed. He like loved it. So after I got drafted, that was a story like, showed you had some balls, kid, or something like that. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. And then later on, as you really get to know this guy, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, I would have never done that. Like, yeah, that's as bad as it gets. Let me grab a chew.
That is fucking.
Now the birds shut up. Yeah.
He's like
Now the
Tony
birds ain't
Soprano of the NHL.
Oh, dude. Oh man, well, even when I got drafted, they were like, because it was taking a while for me to get drafted, and you're just sitting there and you just want to be, you want your name to get called, and they're like, the New Jersey Devils select Scott Gomez, and my agents at the time are right there, and they're like, "Fuck," all my family, we all jump up, and you see my agent like, "Fuck," and you look, and you're like, "What do you mean fuck?" And like, "Oh no, that's great," but you don't realize that they're gonna have to try to deal with Lou, and that's probably the last guy they want to deal with.
Dude, that guy, he is fucking scary though.
Because it was funny. Like, I've listened to Spittin' Chicklets, and I was just listening to your episode on there, and you did his voice, and I've been watching your show too. Scotty's Home.
Scotty's house, yeah.
Scotty's house. And you drop all kinds of, there was I just got done watching the spearfishing one.
Oh,
you let that salmon duct tape to that fucking spear.
Well, what happened was that we you kind of get the concept of the show, but
it's funny as hell.
We fish weren't in at the time, and we were just going to the cabin to film that. Help my dad some, so we're like, fuck, we'll just go get a fish. Couldn't find one. They just had fillets. So then there was a fucking stuffed animal fish head there. So my dad's stringed it up, and because people, and the funny thing is, there's a couple of people that watched it, and they're like, that fish didn't really look that fresh. And it's like, I just threw a fucking stick with the bone. Yeah, like with the bone. Like that it was duct taped on. That wasn't
not even coming anywhere near them.
Yeah. So we had fun with that. We had a couple. Me and my buddy there. We had a couple on the. The guy driving was all right, but we were dying. Like, if you guys think you were laughing there, you should have saw us. We just thought it was the dumbest thing.
Like, have you ever legit rowed a boat before?
Yeah, it wasn't that. It was his oar was fucked up.
The oar.
I've done it. Oh, yeah, like I've done. Yeah, the oar was so. It looks like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but literally, no. Those things are like, you'd be shocked because like the drift boat's a little different, but you drive some of those like rafts that we go on. I mean, they're like cattle. I mean, yeah, the oar, you shouldn't, that should be the last problem you have is the fucking oar. And the one time we're filling my buddy's boat, I mean, that thing just kept coming off, and it's, you know, it's heavy as shit. So yeah.
But that's why you had a great deckhand.
Oh, that's, yeah. I mean, like
You're the
we,
captain. You're
yeah,
calling him the deckhand. Oh,
yeah. And plus, you saw we had to drink and the shit we were doing. Yeah, it was. It was.
you were drinking
all
out
right.
of your freaking bacon candle thing.
Oh no, those are just the jars. Yeah,
Your margarita. You were drinking your margarita the episode before that.
That's funny.
Yeah, those jars you can do anything with.
Hey, so you're like rookie year, 19 years old. You win the cup your first fucking year in the league. What was that like?
Yeah.
It's like Yager.
Well, it was different because the league was older, and so I mean we were down by Philly in the conference finals 3-1. I was just thinking, shit, what a crazy year. There's, you know, that's probably it. You know, and then, you know, guys step up and you see really how guys are. I mean, anyway, we win it, and I didn't know what the fuck was really going on. Like, it's just like, what, like, wow, this is something that you know, we dream about. We all play for it in our backyards, and then, you know, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. Here it is. It's just, we've all grown up doing it, and now I did it, or we did it. And I remember Randy McKay was like, "You don't have kids or anything yet," or I still don't. But he goes, "You don't have kids," and he's like, when that thing comes out, when they bring it out, he's like, it's like almost like this is when you're gonna freak out, and fuck, they bring it out. And you're like, I mean, I'm gonna touch that. Like, I'm gonna be allowed to pick that up here in a couple. I don't know when my turn is. I'm probably really last in line or whatever, but I want to pick that up. But the guys were very, very adamant, and they were really good at letting me know how special this was at my age. If that makes sense. It wasn't like, you know, don't take this. It wasn't. I didn't take it for granted one bit, because of the older guys definitely knew how special this was and how guys have played their whole career and won't get to pick this up, and you've already got it. You've already accomplished that. And I think it was Bobby Holik and like Randy McKay. They did say, I mean, I don't know if I was holding it up or what happened, but it was basically like, you got that out of the way. It's, you know, it's business now. Like, because back then,
holy shit.
what's that? You can't. First of all, you're like, you know, how heavy is it? How you just don't know what's going on. Like, you can't. And then then you give it to you, and you're just like, oh, you know, I think you're practicing too what you're gonna do. Like, you know, we're all grown up. You got to give it a kiss. You got to like, you just, you know, if you know better, you're like, you know, because the cameras are all there. I mean, I think my first one, I just got this dumb cheesy like. In the second one, it looks like, because they always pick like one photo of it. In the second one, I'm just screaming. Where I don't know which one I like better, but it was something that, and people don't realize, like, we were exhausted. Like, the Game 5 was a triple overtime. Game 6 was double overtime. Like, it was almost like, just get this thing, like, just get it over with. Like, this is something that, like, I mean, it's true. If you hear all those stories, like when Gretzky and them were walking by the Islanders room, and everyone was partying crazy, except like the players were exhausted. I always remember that, because it was. I mean, people think like, what'd you guys do that night? We went back to the hotel, and they had like a dinner set up, but guys were exhausted. We didn't do anything. Like, it was just, I mean, we made up for it the next week. No, but that night, it was literally like, just, oh my God, it's over. And me and Jay Pandolfo were like in the room and in Dallas, because we left the next morning, and it's like, fuck, man, like, we just want to, we just win a Stanley Cup. Like, what the hell's going on? And then you're just constantly on the phone with people and stuff. But yeah, it was crazy. It was a unique and special thing.
Well, what was your first, like, going back to when you first got drafted and you walk into the New Jersey dressing room? What was that like? You know, like just walking in there and seeing all them studs.
Yeah. Well, it's easier because when you go to camp for your first time, there's so many other guys there. And I think they had rookie camp back then. It's like a week before camp. So I was already with, like, I already knew some of the minor league guys, or, you know, some guys. Back then camps were like 2 weeks long, like they're longer now. I mean, I think about my third or fourth year, it was like 3 days, bang, the team's already said, like everyone else go. It kind of sucks for the young guys then, because it is neat where you're splitting teams. You're with, I think my first team I was with Scotty Stevens. Like, are you kidding me? And we're not in the big locker room. We're like in one of the small locker rooms. Like, holy shit, Scotty Stevens is getting dressed in, this, and you're just in awe. Like, you can't, and then it's kind of neat because just the way we've always been with our guys, our boys, when you see them after summer juniors, you're shooting the shit. Well, you're hearing like, Scotty Stevens and Randy, or Ken Danico and Randy McKay talking about their summers and what's going on. You're just sitting there like, like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm hearing conversations. So you're with other people. That was fine. It's when they started breaking up, and I'm still there, where you really realize, like, I have nothing in common with any of these guys. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Be the first one on the ice, be the last one off, and just keep it hush hush. The worst time I ever had, or one that always brings up my memories, is so I go back, my 18th year, I go back, and right after the year, we lose to Kamloops in the Western Finals, and the next day I have to fly out to New Jersey, and I was hoping that maybe I would, this is the year before I made the team, so I was hoping maybe I would get to play in the minors or whatever. So I've only met these guys at camp. So I'm 19 now, and I thought I was going to Albany, which would have been cool. I would have liked to see how I could do there, but they're playing Pittsburgh in the first round, and I'm staying across the hotel, right across from the rink. This hotel, it's probably not even legal for players to stay at, the Turtle Brook Inn, and any guy that's ever played there heard it. They'd account for that, but I'm just hanging around. No one's telling me what to do, anything. I don't even know why the fuck I'm here. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not going to Albany. What am I doing? So finally the trainer calls me. He's like, hey, you're going to skate with the guys at like, it's an optional, whatever. You're going to skate with the guys. And I'm like, okay. So like be at the rink at like 11 or 12, whatever. So I get there. I got my junior bag. I'm walking in, and these guys are in playoffs. Like playoffs haven't even started yet. So I'm sure they're all going, what the fuck's this kid doing here? Like, and I got my bag. I don't even want to be there. I'm, going around. I put my bag down, and I go skate in an optional skate, and it's Dave Anderchuk, the Hall of Famer.
Loved him.
Yeah, it's his first game ever that he's going to be a healthy scratch. He's got to go out there and skate, and like, so it's a huge deal in the room that, oh my God, Andy's not in the lineup. And once you get older and you realize like the magnitude of that, I had no clue. All I know is, as I think back, I'm like, what the fuck was Dave Anderchuk thinking, where not only is he a healthy scratch, he's got to go skate in optional, and there's this fucking punk kid out there that he's on the ice with. I was like, oh my God, like it was a memory that I'm like, what? Because I know if you reverse, years later, that would happen to me. I would have been like, well, not only that, I'm on the ice with some fucking junior kid. What's going on here? So that was a tough day for me, man.
Like two or three time 50-goal scorer too.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know. All I know, there was rumbling around the room that Andy's out of the lineup. Andy's out of the lineup, and I'm just sitting there. Was that a big deal? And what's going on? And yeah, so that was one of the most intimidating days I ever had. Like, I just couldn't believe once I really figured out what was going on, and then someone's trying to talk to you, but they got playoffs. They're all focused on either getting back in the lineup or if guys are skating. I mean, the last thing they're going to do is worry about what's going on with you or how are you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Winter is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, and with that brings the bad weather and tough driving conditions. The boys over at County Towing are ready to help. Whether you're having trouble getting your car started in the morning or you have the unfortunate experience of putting your vehicle in the ditch, these guys are here to help, day or night. Did you know that these hometown boys over at County Towing purchased Coxson's Towing a couple years ago, turning them into the largest operation in southern Ontario? There isn't anything County Towing can't do. The team over at County and Coxon Towing are the best in the biz. Trust me, I know. Just this year at the 2020 Provincial Tow Show, they took home 3 awards, including Recovery of the Year, for their work to recover a rolled-over tractor-trailer loaded with steel coils hanging over an overpass on the expressway. You can even check out the boys at County Towing on the Discovery Channel hit TV series Heavy Rescue 401. Look, there is no one else I would trust to get the job done. Service is their only business. If you need help, give County Towing a call at 519-738-2624. That number again is 519-738-2624. You won't be disappointed.
And there he is, folks. Part 1, Scotty Gomez. What a fucking guy, man. Seriously, my stomach hurt the next day. I was laughing so hard during this interview.
Bro, my face hurt. I couldn't stop smiling. I was smiling all day today.
Yeah,
we interviewed him last night, and this being Tuesday.
Yeah.
And this guy, like my ColecoVision wasn't working very well, so I had to go down to your place, to do this interview. It was just like, whatever, don't even care.
Yeah, take your time, boys.
like you said to Sean Avery, hey man, I smoke weed too.
Yeah, it's all good. Also, too, so I don't forget, big shout out to our boy Darren McCarty, because Darren was actually the one who hooked us up with Scotty. So
you're a fucking total beaut. Total beaut.
So big shout out to Darren McCarty on that one. So huge assist. He slid it over. We just had to tap in. You know what I mean? So
he's a +4 on that.
Yeah. So thanks, D-Mac, for that. You had a few things you wanted to shoot the shit about over there, right?
Yeah.
What do you got?
So did you know that the Toronto Maple Leafs have guys in their lineup that were first-round draft picks?
Oh.
At their given time, right? So with first-round draft pick, Joe Thornton, first-round draft pick, John Tavares, first-round draft pick, Austin Matthews, second-round draft pick, Jason Spezza, cleared waivers, but whatever. At the time, he was still on there. Right? Zach Bogosian, third-round draft pick, Mitch Marner, fourth-round draft pick, Morgan Riley, fifth-round draft pick. I apologize, not rounds, but overall.
Yes. That's crazy.
To clarify, right?
Yeah. That's nuts, dude.
And Witt being a fifth-round draft pick, that he always tries to get guys on his show for it.
Yeah.
I just had to bring that up.
Witt, because Witt went fifth overall in one.
Fifth overall. Yeah.
And
I love giving shout outs to the Spit and Chicklets guys, because they're amazing.
Yeah.
Like all our shit is basically after that. You know what I mean? Like
they're like our big fucking brothers, those guys.
we're their AHL team.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. We have fun doing it though, huh?
Love it. I love it.
It's a good time. What else you got there, big dog?
Well, I wanted to also talk about like I'm telling you, bro, the Leafs are gonna win the fucking cup.
You just have a feeling?
I've never been this excited about watching the Leafs in 10 years. And I really think they got a handle on it. Being that their coach gets a full, you know what I mean? Like he got training camp. It wasn't that he was just like, oh, Babcock's gone, you're in. He got the full year out of it. Yeah. So they were saying that guys from Toronto were texting other guys saying how hard camp was. Like, I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can keep everybody healthy and keep firing on all those cylinders there, I would say they have a shot.
I'm jacked. I'm jacked. That interview, I'm jacked about the Leafs. Yeah. They just pumped amazing. Like,
what did you say? Because it froze there.
Sorry, I said they pump winning.
Yeah, Winnipeg, yeah.
And like it was just a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But did you hear about that Marner Babcock? Babcock's coming out and saying that incident was blown out of proportion and it didn't go down like
So that's
it was said.
That's the one where Marner said that he had to grade guys on his team, right?
Right.
Okay. So what all kind of happened with that? Like kind of a gist of it, just
to be quick about it, Babcock saying it didn't go down as it was said. And if you want to look further into it, on Sportsnet app, you can find the whole story. But he was just saying, basically, I just asked him where he ranked himself on the work ethic of the players, and he had himself ahead of Tyler Bozak.
yeah.
Well, Bozak went after him to say, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
And whether this happened or not, who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Right? This is all like dressing room shit. I don't know if Babcock's just backpedaling on what happened because he got shit on, and then you go look at Franzen, right? It was Franzen that he was kicking and degrading, and like it just doesn't make any sense. And you know what I mean? We're armchair quarterbacks,
Yeah.
and you do that to a human being, and then you go the talk and talk about mental, disorder. And meanwhile, you're berating somebody. You're making that fuck they want to jump off a bridge because of the way you treat them.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. Now he's an
NBC. I don't get it.
Hey, now he got hired by NBC.
Well,
isn't he a hockey analyst there now?
Yep. But that's in the States.
No, I know, but I'm saying though.
I'm just saying nobody wants him in Canada because fucking. I don't know.
If they fucking brought him in or something like that on one of these Canadian shows or whatever, and then after what they did to Don, and they brought in a guy like that, you know what I mean? I'd be pissed.
I'm going to tell you something. My theory was that they were going to get rid of Don Cherry before this even happened. I used to talk about it all the time. But before they got rid of Don Cherry, they brought Babcock into Toronto, and he had a 5-year contract, I'm pretty sure it was. So at that end of that 5 years, they were going to get rid of Don Cherry, and Babcock was going to end up being the coach's corner.
Come on.
That was what I thought. If that shit wouldn't have came out about him degrading, belittling, there's been so many guys that have been on like the Spittin' Chicklets that have come out and said, I walk out, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the arena, I'm like, oh my God, I made it. And Babcock comes out and says, get a good look because it's the last one you'll see.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking shitting me?
It's because he's a dick.
Gigantic. He's a fucking penis.
I'm surprised no one's punched him out. I'll say it again. I'm surprised no one's just not.
I can't believe that more coaches and players have never got into just the fisticuffs.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. Because you think about all the tough guys that were in the NHL, and then you go back to the interview with Scotty Gomez and him talking about Pat Burns, and him saying, "I'm crying when I'm out in the parking lot," and he's, "Where are you going?"
Yeah,
you get back. I forgot something in my car.
I'm going to my car. Yeah, he's fine.
That was one of the greatest stories. But he feared him.
Yeah. It's crazy, it's nuts. Completely insane. Didn't you have? Did you have one more thing? I thought you.
Yeah,
had,
I did. That's Stutzel.
yeah.
I hope I'm saying this right. I'm probably butchering it, but his first goal. What a fucking beaut
It was a
of a
rocket.
goal. High and coordination, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Shots taken, pops up in the air, and as it's coming down, it barely touches the ice. He takes a clapper and fucking blows it by Anderson.
Yeah. What a way
Unbelievable.
to get the first one, eh?
Yeah, and you know what? I had the biggest smile on my face for that kid because we just got done watching the World Juniors, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I watched this kid go through all that COVID shit and he was one of the leading scorers in that tournament.
Yeah.
Even though his team kept losing.
I know, it was insane, dude. Yeah, I think do you think he'll be good for them down the road?
Oh fuck. I'll bet you he's gonna be right up there with the Canadian kid there that went to the Rangers, Lafreniere.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. He's good.
Yeah.
He's real good. What else was I was gonna say something. Yeah, I forget though. Fuck. I'm out of it.
Hey, that marijuana is a crazy drug.
It's not a drug, man. It's like having a beer. Right?
Oh no, it's not. Not even fucking close.
It's a good time.
It is.
Leave it alone.
It is good.
But all right. Do you have anything else? Because I'm tapped out, brother.
Nope.
I think we hit everything, right? I'm gonna crush the couch, watch the Red Wings game tonight. They're playing. Probably check that out. See how it goes. So, everybody.
I can already tell you how it's gonna finish.
Oh, here we go. Okay, guess. Oh, Rob's holding up the L. What
It's a big loss.
Nice guy. Real fucking nice. All right, everybody. Until next week, we'll drop part 2, Scotty Gomez, next week. Until then, Ant, Rob, signing off. We're out of here. See ya.
Peace.